The studio lights glared, cameras rolled, and the sports world leaned in. It was another McAfee show, but this time the stakes felt different. Last night, the WNBA shook harder than most saw coming. On the court, Caitlin Clark unleashed ferocious drives, but in the shadows of her game were cheap hits from Marina Mabrey. On the sideline stood Sophie Cunningham, ready to defend, ready to stand tall. But the real fireworks came off the court. Pat McAfee, never one for silence, woke up the media world. He dissected every angle, emotional hits, professional lines crossed, and players forced into defending their dignity. This script unfolds through the lens of that explosive McAfee breakdown, a moment of courage, controversy, and televised justice.
1-0 for the first time in their history. Clark able to take Burke off the bounce. One rebound more a game than their opponents. Miss for Ionescu, and here comes Clark. This is one thing you get with Clark is great pace and great passes. Found Boston perfectly.
Flashback to the heat of play rewind to last night's Fever Sky game. Caitlin Clark, with the ball in her hands, launched a metal eye stare early. Game on. She darted at the rim, barreling down the lane. Suddenly, Mabrey flew in from behind, shoulder first, colliding with Clark midair. Clark hit the floor hard, but she picked herself up and hit the shot anyway. That became the catalyst. Sophie stepped in, defensive crouch, gaze locked. A push followed. The ref saw it. The crowd rose. Cunningham was tossed. But Clark's grit showed more. Every mistake never lessened her performance. Across media outlets, viewers were divided. Was this hard play once too often? Or was devotion to teammates always justified?
Caitlin Clark last played for Indiana against New York, and now she takes it in off glass and has a chance for a three-point.
Pat McAfee enters the conversation. Within minutes of the ejection, Pat McAfee was on set, leaning toward the camera, eyes lit fierce. That was not defense, it was defiance, he barked. Pat spoke with precision. Mabrey's hit looked unnecessary, provocative. Sophie's response? Not overreaction, but enforcement of respect. McAfee broke down the physics. Clark got hit in the air, risked injury. He noted body language. Cunningham's push wasn't aggression. It was a boundary. McAfee refused to let this be framed as a typical foul. He called it player protection, a line that should never get blurred.
Play, bringing the ball down, looking inside, Aaliyah Boston not open. Look at that crossover, then the spin. Tough finish on a really good defender. Rebecca Gar.
Media madness. Who's defending whom? That clip went viral. Within hours, Twitter, TikTok, and SportsCenter replayed it from every angle. Some pundits called it soft, others hard-hitting. McAfee's segment skyrocketed. They pixelated Mabrey's hit, froze frames of Sophie's shove. Every pro-McAfee clip gained traction, fans chanting, "Protect Caitlin." Expert analysts weighing in, yes, Fever needed a guardian.
Gardner is long, can move her feet, a push off as well, and then
Cunningham is down behind the play, but they've got Caitlin Clark to fire away from three. Cunningham just now getting up as she stayed down near the free throw line on the other end. All three threes.
Emotional core, McAfee's heartfelt defense. Beyond the drama, McAfee dug deeper. He shared his wide-reaching experiences with players he's interviewed. He talked about male athletes with hard fouls and how leagues stepped in. But in women's sports, too often battles swirl without someone stepping up. He recounted tough conversations with Riley from the WNBA, urging growth, respect training, and equal standards.
9 and 30, but look at the depth on these fields. Two players with incredible
Breaking down the play, frame by frame. McAfee walked through the play frame by frame. He started with Clark's march approach, shoulder coil, eyes locked. Then Mabrey's sneer, mid-lane collision. Not even a play on ball. McAfee froze the image. Arm extended, body angled forward. He explained biomechanics. The hit created momentum, unbalancing Clark's jump. Sophie's angle. She was behind Clark, protected her spine. The shove was minor, shoulder to side. He even replayed slogans from past games, contrasting Batman and Robin moves with this protected action. People saw it live from stateside, then in replay on McAfee's show. Viewers across platforms began demanding two things: instant replay reviews in WNBA and stronger accountability for protect responses.
And she's certainly feeling it. Left side.
Clark, another.
Sophie Cunningham speaks. McAfee interview tease. Then came the tease. McAfee dropped clips of his upcoming sit-down with Cunningham. He promised the full story from the player's mouth. Sophie, he said, had spent hours unpacking her motivations, her love for Clark, fear of injury, and regret at going too far. "I'll sit down with Sophie at 7 p.m., McAfee announced. Later, snippets rolled out. Cunningham, calm and composed, said, "I'd do it again, but maybe differently." She talked about league culture, physicality versus respect, and how she felt responsibility as veteran. McAfee didn't invite drama. He invited truth. Their sit-down was previewed as one of the most honest WNBA interviews this season.
Long three. She's back! Points in the quarter, including 3 long-range.
Broader implications, league standards and player safety. McAfee widened the lens. He addressed policy, WNBA review boards, ejection protocols, and historical context. He compared this occurrence to high-profile NBA incidents, Pistons-Bulls chases in the 90s, flagrant fouls on superstars like Magic Johnson. He asked, after outperforming in numbers and attention, why shouldn't women's basketball have equal protections? Why are on-court battles still met with glorified violence instead of regulation? McAfee suggested WNBA examine sliding scale reviews, harshly penalizing late hits on key players, accidents treated more differently. He spoke of female-led sports. They raise standards when they demand fairness. He concluded that Sophie's ejection should be the red line they never cross again, conditions from aggression to bullying. Sophie was execution of the rule, no more skullduggery disguised as competitiveness.
Threes to get Indiana to within 2. Her second career start, second in a row, and Clark stays red hot.
Fan reaction and cultural impact. Social platforms exploded. Fans invoked hashtag justice for Caitlin and hashtag protect Clark. Ex-WNBA stars posted supportive threads. Journalist Ashlyn Harris wrote, "This is the moment they're coaching for." Some fans debated, is protesting game conduct necessary? Others supported review rules. McAfee interviewed an academic on sports psychology who said this type of support strengthens team bonds and lowers long-term injury risk. Thousands with Fever merch shared McAfee's clip. Young athletes in pop-up leagues used it as a teaching point. Look out for teammates, set boundaries, demand safe play. This wasn't just commentary, it turned viral into viral advocacy. The moment transcended game night. The WNBA fandom recognized its weight, and even international leagues picked up respect messaging.
Caitlin recognizes how open she is. Burke can't quite get there, drains the 3.
Clark directing traffic, and then steps back with the 3 over Breanna Stewart.
Your players clearing out that side of the floor.
The aftershock. What comes next? As the dust settles, multiple forces move. WNBA execs issued a statement pledging review of injury-inducing hits, updates to ejection protocols, and expanded coaching clinics focusing on sportsmanship. Sophie Cunningham's interview aired full-length on McAfee's channel, revealing deeper reflections and her call for stronger peer accountability. Caitlin Clark, meanwhile, shot to team leadership. The Sky issued a private apology, and Mabrey posted a reflective clapback. Hard fouls are part of the game, but I'll always aim to play fair. The league's trading deadline looms, but more crucial, a culture check. At sports bars, analysts ask if WNBA just demanded its fair share of protection. And that question echoes. What league accepts tough yet fair? Because Pat McAfee, once again, put his network, credibility, and legacy behind women's sports standards. And their next move will shape whether protection becomes rule, not reaction.
Or shooting on Stewie, and then
Now Caitlin going to drive around Stewart. Hull left open momentarily, and she nailed it.
just a beautiful offensive possession by the New York Liberty, and it's one of the reasons they've had so much success this year is the way they move the ball and share it.
Clark trying to answer, and indeed she does. Who's the first? This one? Caitlin Clark!